Right, so this time around I've got a slightly more complex equation. So it's 4 times brackets x plus 2 close brackets equals 5 times brackets 2 minus x and brackets. So if you want to have a go at that for yourself, pause the video now, have a go. I'll be back in just a moment to give you a hint as to the first steps. Okay, so the way I approach those is generally that, first of all, I multiply out the brackets so that I don't have my unknowns anywhere in brackets. So that will now give me, so 4 times x is 4x, plus 4 times 2 is 8, equals 5 times 2 is 10, minus 5 times x, 5 minus 5x. Okay, so now slightly simpler equation. Again, if you want to pause and have a go yourself what the next step should be, do that now. Okay, so I always prefer getting all my unknowns onto the left-hand side of the equation first of all. So I want to get rid of this minus 5x here. So the way that is tied to the rest of the equation, my real number here, 10, my known number, is via subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So what I want to do is to get rid of my minus 5x is on both sides of the equation, I want to do plus 5x. Okay, now what that gives me here is 4x plus 8 plus 5x equals 10 minus 5x. So again, my original part of the equation plus 5x, my new operation. Okay, now that I can simplify. Actually rewrite that just in case you're not all that familiar with the commutative property. So it doesn't really matter which order I write a series of sums like 4x plus 8 plus 5x, as long as I remember to keep the sign with the actual number. So all of this is plus, so it doesn't matter. But if this was, for instance, minus 5x, then the minus would always stay with the 5x. Okay, I'll go over that in another video, I'm sure. Right, so I can rewrite that to 4x plus 5x plus 8. So I've just swapped around the 5x and the 8 just to make it a little bit more readable. Equals, and here I've already got the x's together, so I can just put those together. So 10 remains. Minus 5x plus 5x cancels out, so that gets to 0. So it's 10 technically plus or minus 0. It doesn't really matter because 0 is the neutral element of addition and subtraction. So just think about it. If you've got a certain amount of money and you add, well, let's say you've got £10, you don't add any pounds and you don't take any pounds away, then you're still left with £10. Okay? So that is equal to 10, really. And I can simplify this part of the equation by saying 4x plus 5x, which gives me 9x. And of course, don't forget the plus 8, because that remains, equals 10. Okay, so that's a little bit easier. Again, if you want to pause the video at this point and see if you can come up with a solution, do so. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so what I need to get rid of now is the 8 on the left hand side of the equation, because we don't want any known numbers on the left hand side, we want them all on the right hand side. So the 8 is tied to my unknown via addition. Opposite is subtraction, so what I want to do on both sides of the equation is to do a minus 8. Okay, so that gives me on this side of the equation 9x plus 8, the original part of the equation, and then apply the new operation. Minus 8 equals 10, the original part of the equation, and then apply the new operation, minus 8. Now again, plus 8 minus 8, that gets to 0, so I can rewrite this as 9x plus 0 equals 10 minus 8 is 2. Okay, and that, again, because 0 plus 0 minus 0, you can just leave that off. So I've got my 9x equals 2. Okay, so now I only need to get rid of the 9. And the 9 is tied to the x via multiplication. So the opposite of that is division. So what I want to do now is divide by 9, both sides of the equation. So this gives me 9x, my original, divided by 9 equals 2. Again, my original divided by 9, my new operation. Because on this fraction I do not have any sums or any addition or subtraction in here, I can just cancel out the 9. It's just 9 times x divided by 9, which means the 9 can be cancelled out, which leaves me with x. And then equals 2 divided by 9. I'm going to leave that as a fraction, because usually you do that in algebra. Okay, so there you've got it. X equals 2 divided by 9. I hope you found this useful. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, just click like to let me know that you liked it and that I should do more of this stuff. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.